Yes, hello, welcome back to our Unreal Engine live game development sessions, which we will continue since last time. So last time हम लोग ने जो बनाया था हम लोग देखेंगे, आगे बनाएंगे. हम लोग आगे टॉप डाउन शूटर हम लोग बना रहे थे, so that is what we will continue today. Okay. So let me just check what we had done last time. Okay, yeah, we had made the health bar and stuff, and एनिमी स्पॉन किया है हम लोग ने वेव्स में, एंड उनको हम लोग डैमेज दे सकते हैं. दे कैन डैमेज अस एंड they have the death animation and stuff, and we had made this grenade like this, which was basically an area of explosion kind of weapon. Okay, so yeah, ये सब हम लोग के बेसिक्स हो गए थे. आज हम लोग इसमें कंटिन्यू करेंगे. थोड़े इसके एनिमेशंस वी कैन सी कि द एनिमी इज़ करेंटली स्लाइडिंग. थोड़ा सा जब वो अटैक एनिमेशन प्ले होता है तो दैट इज़ समथिंग दैट वी कैन फिक्स ईजिली. देन थोड़ा उनका हेल्थ बार्स, इनके हेल्थ बार्स में भी कुछ हम लोग मे बी चेंजेस कर सकते हैं. थोड़ा एचडी में वी कैन डू सम चेंजेस. मे बी वी कैन डू द ग्रेनेड्स कैन बी फाइनाइट, and उस पर we can set a limit on our grenades. Then we can add different type of enemies, and different enemies obviously they'll have some different type of attacking. So maybe they'll have like a ranged attack, or maybe uh, there'll be an enemy which will spawn another small mobs of enemies. तो वैसे का एक हम लोग create कर सकते हैं. Okay, so yeah, so let's start first of all with this animation thing of our goblin. Okay, so ये goblin के अंदर currently if I just see, तो it attacks and slides. Okay, so if you have any questions or anything related to this, so feel free to ask in the chat. Okay, and इसके अंदर हम लोग goblin का montage will check currently what montage is being played. So this is a child blueprint. We'll go to its parent, and parent के अंदर we have the attack, and attack के अंदर we are playing this montage. This montage we can promote it to a variable attack montage, so that all our child blueprints can have different attack montages, of course. And this montage, when this montage is being played, so it plays this montage and it also moves the character, and the whole character is basically playing the montage. So if I look at the animation blueprint goblin, yes, this is the one. So I have used this default slot over the whole state machine, so all the animations will be put on hold and my montage will play basically when I do the play montage thing. I want the montage to only play on the hands and maybe उसका जो भी part है except the legs. So legs पे I want this idle, or my basically this is my movement to play. So same thing जो हम लोग ने अपने character के लिए किया था, I'll do that. We will have to use layered blend per bone, and we will have to promote this, save this pose as our movement pose. And movement pose को use करके, that is basically our blend pose. And now we'll have to use two different slots because your death animation obviously that will play on the whole body. So attack animation will play on only the upper body, so I will keep this on my upper body. For now I don't have any slots, so I'll create a slot, call it upper body. So attack will be on upper body. I will use upper body here, and upper body will be our blend pose, and this will be our base pose. Actually I could just put this one here so that okay, and this will be apna spine. Spine 01. So spine 01 should be our upper body animations. I can't really see if it's working, so let me see. Spine 01, I have named it properly. Now whenever they play upper body animations, they will be played over these, like they will basically blend with this one. So this is being played on upper body. Okay, I forgot to change this to upper body. Now what I can do is I can increase its size so that I'm able to see. Okay, yeah. So it is playing the idle and stuff when we are attacking. बिकॉज उसके लेग्स बहुत छोटे हैं, यहाँ पर दिखते नहीं है, दैट्स व्हाई आई डिड दैट. एंड नाउ इट वोंट स्लाइड एनी मोर. अटैक के साथ साथ उसके पैर भी चलेंगे व्हेनेवर इट इज ट्राइंग टू मूव. ओके, there's a blast explosion. So yeah, even for the grenades, for now I will disable the debug. There's a draw debug type and there's a frequency. Frequency is basically this. Oh wait, it is not drawing that. I need this for one frame. This is the frequency. Basically the predicted path, the number of steps our predicted path takes is the frequency. Right now I have set it to 30, so if you want a more smoother line you can do like increase it, but this is just for debug purposes. This is not for actual, like in game it won't look like this. We will need to use some material or shaders or some kind of like particle effect to simulate that. But this is just the frequency of how many times it will try to detect if our projectile has collided with something. So if I only keep it to, let's say, 2, this is still, it will work the same way because our projectile does not collide with our enemies or anything. Our projectile directly only collides with the floor, the ground. So doing it like 30 or something will not really matter. It is only like for debugging purposes. We can see कितना frequently वो हो रहा है, बाकी ऐसा कुछ है नहीं उसमें. And what I did want to remove was the sphere that I'm drawing. That is, I think, in in the grenade. Yeah, this is a sphere. So if I don't draw it तो अभी damage same पड़ेगा but sphere draw नहीं होगा. Yeah, I don't know what happened to this guy. Okay, currently this is more like an impact grenade because of the amount that we wait to explode. We are currently exploding as soon as it hits. Okay, ये मैंने लास्ट टाइम हम लोग ने किया था कि we can add a delay to this and basically it will explode after 1.5 seconds. So now the grenade will stay on ground and it will explode later. Okay, also we can't control the distance that it goes to, so I don't know if I want to keep that as an option because वो बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाएगा. Already grenade is too powerful. It is more like a, if they get too close to you, you can throw this and get थोड़ा पीछे so that you can just clear out a horde of enemies. It's not supposed to be like a very melee range kind of thing. Grenades are not for melee or you will just kill yourself. Sorry, I should not have said that. I meant like in game, if you just put a grenade underneath your feet, that's just you are that's friendly fire, to keep it lightly. Okay, so we don't want to do that. So हम लोग को एक मेले रेंज के लिए कुछ रख सकते हैं हम लोग. आई डोंट नो, आई डोंट हैव एनी plans yet. If you think we should add some melee, some kind of thing, so let me know. But for now what we need is more kind of enemies, variety enemies. So because you can see right now I can just like walk away from the enemies and they won't be able to catch me because of my speed and their speed. Like I can just do this. Correct. So I will probably never die unless I spawn a lot of enemies or I include some challenges for the player. So we will obviously add some challenges. For now I can keep it on impact, the explosion. Okay, I don't know why that is happening. It's probably colliding with the other goblins that are like just next to it, तो उसके वजह से वो हो रहा है. And also I think that yeah, we had created a death and after dying they just are like surrounding a player like Dark Souls में वो लोग करते हैं. And we can add a screen here, but the only thing is कि they are targeting the capsule. So basically like if I die, my mesh falls back but the capsule is still there and they are trying to hit the capsule, so they will ignore the body because body is according to them mesh does not matter, like main capsule matters because that's my actor location. So this looks a little weird if you don't have the capsule, which obviously you don't in game. So you see it kind of how it looks, they are ignoring the body. So that is also one thing that we can fix later. So I don't know what to do first. There's a lot of things that we can do. हम लोग इसके अंदर थोड़ा particles भी we can add. So right now the way we are hitting these enemies, there is no feedback basically that they are being hit except the health bar, which you can't see if there's a lot of enemies there. So what I can do is I can add a mechanic or a thing where basically their color like kind of flickers, or I can just add a particle effect also. So let's see what kind of particles effect do I have. First let me just close these things that I will not use now. Cam, AI, attack, grenade. Okay, so I need a particle effect for every time I'm hitting an enemy. These are the enemies. अब जब enemies hit होते हैं, do I have the location? I do not. I have damage caused by and then causer and stuff. So the actor who does damage, that is the one who has to spawn the particles, and that can be a lot of things. It can be a bullet, it can be a grenade, it can be any different other bullet type or a weapon type that we create. So for now, suppose a bullet is doing damage to our enemy, so every time it does damage, we can also, we are not destroying our bullets after hitting. Yeah, we're not destroying, our bullets are going through the, yeah. So first thing, I need to destroy my bullet. Okay, this is much better. Also now after it has died, it should not overlap like this with the capsule. So suppose I've killed this guy, so it should not, my bullet should not overlap with that. So for that, every time my goblin has died, this capsule should ignore almost everything except the landscape that it is standing on. So landscape collision is basically world static, you can see, and it blocks everything. It blocks a throwable obviously. So we need to tell our goblin to ignore everything except world static when it dies. So inside our main enemy blueprint, not just our goblin, every enemy should do that. So every time our enemy dies, which is on take damage, we have death. We also have radial damage. I'll just put it here in one comment. Death, on death I will wait. Yeah, I have to do it here. So like I've done here, I've set my capsule to ignore my pawn. I also need to tell it to ignore everything. Now how do I do that? I'll have to create a preset, I think, or I can do set collision response to all channels ignore, and then set collision response to world static as block. This is what I can do. Two things: ignore everything, and then after ignoring everything, tell it to block the world static. Let's try this. Now if I kill, let's say, all of these guys, so yeah, now bullets are going through, and they should also now not block the other enemies, which I think they would have before. but now they're not blocking other enemies. Other enemies can now walk over them, so that's good. Oh wow. So I'm not clicking anything, and apparently there's a bug that if I die at the same time I'm doing, I think, shooting, my character gets stuck in the shoot animation, which is very weird because mm, we are using whole body slot here. So it was probably like stuck in shooting is a montage. How can it be stuck in this shoot montage unless this is not looping? Maybe it kept doing this again and again. I don't know. Maybe if I can reproduce that bug, I'll be able to fix it, but I don't think I'll be able to reproduce it. Let's see if I die now while shooting. Okay, yeah. If I die while shooting, it's doing the same thing. Okay, I get it. Because if you die while shooting, what happens is this is death. When you die, I have disabled movement, and I have first thing that I've done is disable input. This is the reason. When I disable input, this thing stops working as in nothing will execute, not this, not this. And since I have already pressed my left click, I have not released it yet, and I'm dead while this is happening. I'm dead. So now this does not fire when I'm dead, and if this does not fire, my shooting never stops. This keeps happening. This whole thing keeps happening every 0.2 seconds. So basically every time I die, I need to tell it to clear my shooting timer. Yeah, I think I'll have to do it here. I don't see another better way to do it. So I'll just call my shoot and clear and invalidate timer. I can collapse to a function and say like disable shooting or whatever. Disable shooting or stop shooting. And I can do it whenever, like I can do it here. Stop shooting. And also here I can just use the function that my brother stop shooting, or sorry, MJ. So now if I'm in the middle of my shoot animation and if I die, I'm holding left click and still the animation is being played, a death animation. Okay, so all working very well. Also, I'm wondering where the moving print string is coming from. I'm not printing anything here. It's probably the player controller class, and I have two of them because of course, and this is the wrong one. So I will actually delete all of them. yeah, they're not being used anywhere. That's why I didn't get any pop-ups to maybe not delete them, but they're not being used anywhere. I'll also create a folder called packs where I will move all of these things just to clean up the content drawer a bit. I don't know if I should do this for Asian Village. I think it will take a long time. Inside packs I'll also add the Unreal content, and I'll add the characters and level prototyping and cursor stuff inside there, just to keep it all clean. Like, these are a lot of folders that I have not created, I may not ever use. So yeah, it's renaming assets. Okay, by renaming it means like it's just changing the location of that asset, and the location, like there's the address, and I think it's changing that, because it won't really change the name of the assets. The only reason it would have to change the name of the assets if those assets already existed in that folder where I'm trying to move it to, and वो तो हम लोग नहीं कर रहे. So yeah, okay, we'll have to wait for a couple minutes. और इसमें we will add two kind of, for now I'm thinking, particle effects. One is when we hit the enemy, and one is when we actually shoot. Map data packages. Okay, animation test map. Okay, I don't need the test map anyway. I don't need any maps except this. I'm not using any other maps. Also, we can look at some particle systems that we may want to use. I've seen a bit of these, like Niagara realistic shader pack and like just FX. I think this one, and then also like this Niagara, big Niagara bundle. All of these are like, they're okay, but I think we'll have to add and see which one. Some of these, like these are okay, Niagara, but the ये वाले जो है realistic one and FX variety pack, these are all cascade particle system, which is like very old, and it's like not really what I would want to use. But if we're just using, if I won't edit it, then it's fine, but if I'm going to edit it, I would rather prefer a Niagara particle system. And let's see, so it's not responding yet, so that means it's probably still in the middle of renaming or relocating the assets. Yeah, we can see still like doing the thing where it's compiling or doing some stuff. Okay, okay. So this is one thing that always happens, you will find that all of these folders are empty, but they still exist. like I moved this folder inside here, and there is this folder here which has all the assets, right? But there is still this folder which is empty. So what you should do at this time is go to a root folder, like a folder before all of both of these, right click and redirectors, fix up redirectors. And now it is safe to delete this folder, because it should not hold any references or anything, so it's safe. And delete, please. It's saying it can't save the test map. I'll just delete the test map. I don't need the test map. I am independent. Oh, why? Just delete. Hello. Okay, whatever. Whatever. Okay, cancel that. Go to the. It can't save a shadow map texture inside my map, I guess. Okay. And this test map, show in folder view, please delete, force delete. Let's see if it saves now. Okay, it's saving. Cool. This folder is still like doesn't want to delete itself. It did. Okay. So usually build datas are the ones which have a lot of references which can't be switched. I think that was the issue. And I can also move the undead pack now here inside. Projectile. Nice. My chat is not being docked. I don't know why. Okay. Done. Thank you. Thank you. And we have a top down which is basically Unreal Engine content. So I will add like Unreal content, or yeah, Unreal content. Okay. All assets move, still it will not delete. So because of that, I will have to fix up redirectors. It will fix the references, and now I'll be able to delete this guy. So in that time I'll also try to add some FX ones. Let me add this FX variety pack, and realistic 100 MBs. Okay, I'll also add this one. And the big Niagara bundle, do I need it? I'm trying to think if there's any useful ones in there. I think there is one that I can use. Okay, done. What changed? Okay, sure. And we have more packs. You know what, I won't move the packs anymore. It's just taking a lot of time, so I'll just use it like this for now, and maybe in the break I'll keep 1 or 2 packs for moving. But now the main thing is to add a particle effect every time my bullet is hitting my AI, basically यहाँ पर. So when it's hitting them, it's also hitting the capsule, but for the player who's playing, it's only hitting the mesh according to them. So it needs to be थोड़ा सा precise, जहाँ पर it should denote the particular part of the enemy's mesh जहाँ पर वो hit हम लोग उसको कर रहे हैं. So that can be done using particle effect, using a material change, basically a small material change. I can add a tint to this material. So currently this enemy is in a yellow or a greenish material, so I can add a tint which basically changes that color to red or dark green, something, for like once, half a second. As soon as I hit the bullet, like it changes the color to like red or something. तो थोड़ा सा ऐसा red flash होता है, तो damage का effect दिखेगा. I think so that is something I will add. And I did not think it would take this long. And it's not even doing anything on the CPU. Yeah, it just seems to be stuck. I don't know. This should not happen usually. It's changing the amount of memory that it's using, so I don't know why I keep opening Steam. Just muscle memory. Oh man. It used. I'll just end it. Okay. Okay, we won't open any assets. Okay, this is still there. Huh. So this did not copy over. That's fine. Now where we were on the bullet. Every time our bullet overlaps here. So what I wanted to do was spawn. There's emitter at location and there's also system for cascade and Niagara respectively. So the amount of cascade particle systems that we have are basically from Pelica and the packs that I just imported. So there is this one Bellica hit character. Let me use this one and let's see. Every time I hit the character, which is basically get wherever my bullet is, where it hit the enemy. Yeah, something like this. It I'll just change the size थोड़ा सा बड़ा है ये. I'll do like 0.5. This is fine. This is more like when you hit like a metal thing, but for now this will do. And any other system that we have hit world, so it looks kind of like this. Yeah, like this. Actually I can use this one, hit world. Let me see. That is not so bad. It's more like Diwali का firecracker लग रहा है ये, and because it's Diwali, it's very fitting. You know. Yeah, this is good. Now also for a muzzle flash. Muzzle flash is basically an RNJ in a blueprint. I mean, whenever we shoot, we have to spawn emitter at location. Let me see if I have any good Niagara particles. Okay, this is from the big Niagara bundle. There are a lot of animations actually. Do I have muzzle flash, explosion, simple explosion, cosmic? No, these are like the basic ones. So there is no good Niagara explosion. I'll have to use this one, muzzle. Let's take a look at these. P explosion. This is not bad for a grenade, no? Molotov smoke. Blood. Environment, dandelion, fireflies. Okay. We can add some fireflies to our environment. And we have fire small. Oh, this is like actual fire. I thought Then we fire a gun. Hit. What are we hitting? Wait, what? I don't know what is exactly hitting these things. Like, is it when we hit from a bullet? I think it is. But like, why is this a thing when we hit a brick or asphalt? I don't know. So we have smokes, we have sparks, we have some embers here which are just flying for no reason. We have sparks. Yo, 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 chill, chill, chill. Okay. Diwali. More Diwali. A lot of Diwali. Diwali end. Okay. So हम लोग क्या यूज़ करें for our muzzle flash? We will use Bellica का ही जो था muzzle. Okay, let's try this. We spawn a bullet and yeah, we spawn a bullet and we spawn this emitter. Now location is basically wherever we are spawning this bullet, which is shoot location. So I can use that one. Actually, let me do montage after this. Okay, so location and rotation. Scaling maybe will change. It's preparing shaders. Let's prepare shaders. Now you can test. And yeah, it's not so bad. We can make it a bit smaller. थोड़ा ज़्यादा दिवाली इफेक्ट लग रहा है. 0.5. I think this is too much. Like you can't even really see the bullets now because of this particle. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know, my brother. Maybe I'll do 0.2, very small. Is it even changing its size? Like 0.01, 0.01, 0.01. It's not changing the size. What am I changing? Oh, I'm changing the bullet. Wait. I was changing the bullet. Yeah, now it's way too small, obviously. Let's do. I tried 0.5 first. 0.4. Let's try 0.4. This is not so bad. I think we should take the location of our socket, get socket, not of this, the gun has a muzzle socket, I am hoping, and of course also the rotation. Let me check if this gun has a muzzle, proper muzzle rotation. Has muzzle, yeah, it's proper. So we'll use get socket rotation. Muzzle. And now it's much like closer to our gun, so it's looking better. Okay. Also something for the grenade, like a small explosion. Control P, grenade, and yeah, here I will, every time it explodes we will apply radial damage, of course, and we will spawn emitter at location. Or did we see a good particle, or sorry, a good Niagara system for explosion? No, there's like simple explosions. Was it fire portal, impact, grenade maybe? No, of course. What do I have then? None of these are really like that exciting. I'll use emitter then. Explosion big. Let's see how big the big explosion is. And we need the location. Obviously the origin. Rotation, there is no need for rotation because explosion will go from all directions. I'm hoping it looks good. Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, it's not the best, but at least it's something, you know. Yeah, it's something. Not bad. Also for the grenade I will see to it that it's not so basic shape, not the shape, but the material is not like this. We will make a new material for our grenade. I'm thinking if we need a mesh for the grenade. I don't think we need a mesh. I think sphere ठीक है. We'll just need to add some materials. So I'll create a grenade material and let me just keep it black for now. I don't even need a 3-4 vector. I will keep it थोड़ा सा rough, 0.8. And what if I keep it metallic? It goes completely dark. Yeah, the roughness obviously will not matter if it's metallic. So nothing can be completely metallic, obviously. There are a lot of a very few amount of materials which have even more than point 0.8, was it, in metalness, like in real life. I mean, no metal really goes, no metal is completely like 100% black, so I don't think I'll use metallic. No, I'm fine. Should it be emissive? Like maybe it's emitting like a white glow. Let me see. Then it's completely white. Maybe I'll need to use a point light then, because I need light. I don't need like a global illumination. If I keep it, like even no, okay, let's just keep it black. Grenade. And let me first see. It's not so bad. So what do we need? Like if I want the grenade to glow in my hand, I will need to add a point height. Actually, it can be anywhere. It can be here, it can be child of my collider, it's fine. I'm not really going to move my mesh, I'm moving the whole collider. Like my collider is basically simulating physics, and all my other components will follow the position of my collider, so even the light will. But the point is, no pun intended, is where this point light, or how this point light will light up my thing. If it's inside it, it will not light it. Maybe I increase the source radius. $50, $10, $20. And if I keep a grenade here, yeah, it does light. It lights it up. Yeah, that's not so bad. Now all I want is for my MJ to also hold the grenade while she's doing this animation. Like she's holding nothing right now. Okay, and just make sure that this radius is not that big. No, sorry, not the intensity. The attenuation radius is maybe 500, because the higher the attenuation radius is, the more it will kill your FPS. And yeah, it is dropping. My FPS drops every time I use the grenade. Now for some reason my max FPS is stuck to 60. me do stat unit. If it's stuck on game, then it's probably no, it's GPU bound. Okay, it's GPU bound. Okay. Just in case, let me just unlock my FPS in my game mode, and I'll create another game instance to unlock my FPS. So I have the game mode top down. Also, I will add a game instance here. Which is basically for some functions that I will run just once in the whole game. For example, set graphics, get game settings, and then I can do set, what was I going to change? Yeah, max FPS, frame rate, set frame rate limit to like 150. This will happen on a custom event set init or init graphics settings. Init stands for initialize. So I'll initialize my graphics settings and I'll set my max FPS to 150. This is just for now. We don't have a save or anything, so we're not loading our settings or stuff. So we're just initializing graphic settings every time I start my game mode, because there is no begin play in this, nor is there a tick. Okay, game instance can, as far as I know, work on custom events and custom functions, but not on inbuilt events. I don't think it has event. Wait, what? Okay, there is an init then. Wait, I don't know if this works properly. Let me check in instance initiate, and I'll have to go into my project settings, maps and modes, set my game instance GI main. Wow, what do you know? There is a initialized event, so I'll just use that for now. And let me see, my FPS is of course unlocked now because I used that piece of code, but still my FPS is coincidentally around 60. I thought it's locked at 60, but it's not locked, it's just around 60. Because if I do set this to, let's say, 50, so we'll see that my FPS does not go above 50 in game here. Right, it is going above 50. Oh, I didn't use apply settings, of course. You need to apply settings after changing them. So now, yeah, now it's capped to 50. And let's see if we uncap it to 150, does it go above 60? Still doesn't go. So like I said, our FPS is by coincidence near 60, but it's not capped at 60. That's what our GPU is limited to. Our GPU cannot render above 16 or less than 16 ms in this environment. Okay, so for now we can't do anything. We'll try to change things later, and we'll try to see what is actually affecting our GPU. And the most hit it is getting is from the Lumen screen probe gather. and of course shadow depths, but the lumen screen. Okay, it's just 3 ms. Yeah, the lumen screen probe gather. Scene lighting is 1 ms. So how is all this accumulating up to 15? I don't see 15. Or maybe my maths is weak. 3 plus 3 is 6, 3, 9, and then maybe 10. Yeah, maybe this is a lot of 0.3, 0.3, 0.3. Yeah, so it's mostly my probe gather. Let me check if my post process volume is changing anything related to lumen, and my final gather is set to 1. If I set it to 0, we can see this number going down. Probe gather, lighting quality, if I set it to 0, I don't know why this feels like my frame rate is capped. No, maybe it's not capped. I did increase my performance by this. Also view distance, let me see if I can keep it to 1000. Does it change anything? If I don't use lumen at all, our FPS shoots up to 90. 90, I'm not kidding, 90. From 60 to like 87, 90. And our GPU can now generate a frame every 11 milliseconds. So that's how strong basically your GPU has to be to basically render a lumen scene. And this is not even that heavy of a scene where there's a lot of lighting, but there are a lot of grasses and like kind of objects where the light is bouncing, so that is what's affecting it. But our global illumination method, if I set it to lumen now, you can see our FPS dropping from 90 to 60. And if I use screen space, okay, let's not switch to screen space, let's keep it lumen for now. And our view distance, I'll change it to 1000. Final gather quality, max trace distance to also like 5000. If I'm decreasing this value, it should increase my FPS, should it not? Yeah, my FPS are up to like 65. I got 5 frames. But anyway, we won't waste a lot of time fighting our GPU. It's doing its job, it's doing its best. So let's just leave him be, and let's focus on just the simplicity for now, which is how a game looks and not how it's performing. So it's looking okay, it's not the best, but as I said, I can switch the material between for the enemies. Okay, so that is one thing that I'll do after a short break. तो एक ब्रेक लेते हैं हम लोग like 5 minutes का something, and yeah, then I'll be right back.
Take 5 minutes and we'll continue our session about making games in Unreal Engine. Until then, watch more about Game Institute. I hope you're enjoying this session, guys, and just wait a few minutes and I'll be right back with you. So guys, thanks for watching, and we'll be right back within 5 minutes and we'll continue our session about making games in Unreal Engine. Until then, watch more about Game Institute. I hope you're enjoying this session, guys, and just wait a few minutes and I'll be right back with you. So guys, thanks for watching, and we'll be right back within 5 minutes and we'll continue our session about making games in Unreal Engine. Until then, watch more about Game Institute. hope you're enjoying this session, guys, and just wait a few minutes and I'll be right back with you. So guys, thanks for watching, and we'll be right back within 5 minutes and we'll continue our session about making games in Unreal Engine. Until then, watch more about Game Institute.
Okay, hello, I'm back. So yeah, let's continue. हम लोग अपने गॉब्लिन को कलर उसका बेसिकली चेंज करना है मटेरियल का. सो व्हाट आई नीड टू डू इज़ बट फर्स्ट आई नीड टू चेक कि मटेरियल है क्या एंड हाउ वी कैन चेंज द कलर इसमें. ओके, अनरियल इंजन, यस. वॉलेंस आर ओपी, यस. अनरियल इंजन तो है. अनरियल इंजन हम लोग 5 चला रहे बाय द वे, जब तक यूनिटी 6 आ जा चुका है. तो अनरियल इंजन अभी लाइक थोड़ा आउटडेट हो रहा है. इसके अंदर क्या एसेट डिटेल्स इधर आ गए, इसके डिटेल्स लेफ्ट साइड में. सो दिस इज द मटेरियल विच वी नीड टू बेसिकली एडिट. आपका साउंड कम आ रहा है. साउंड शुड बी ओके आई थिंक, बिकॉज माइक वॉल्यूम तो मेरा इधर फुल है.
बोल रहा है आपका साउंड कम आ रहा है.
हाँ वही. लेट मी चेक. मेरा माइक फुल है. OBS एंड सिस्टम साउंड दोनों भी मेरा प्रॉपर है, फुल. सो एनीवे, हम लोग को क्या करना है यहाँ पर मटेरियल्स में बेसिकली एक ट्रेंड देना है. अभी यहाँ पर मटेरियल्स कैसे चल रहे हैं, इट इज़ डन यूजिंग फ्रेसनेल एंड स्टफ. ये लोग ने लिया है, एक रिफ्लेक्शन कलर लिया है. दे हैव एडेड दिस टेक्सचर एंड वी हैव दिस नॉर्मल एंड स्टफ मैप्स. एंड इसके अंदर एक एमिसिव का पावर इसमें दिया है यहाँ पर. नाउ व्हाट आई नीड टू डू इज़, यही मटेरियल में आई नीड टू चेंज दिस कलर. सो अभी करंटली लाइक सपोज ऐसा कुछ है ये मटेरियल. आई नीड टू मेक इट थोड़ा सा उसको डार्क या थोड़ा सा रेडिश कलर, लाइक जब उसको अटैक लगता है ऐसा कुछ. तो वो कैसे कर सकते हैं, अभी करंटली हम लोग ऐड कर रहे हैं ये कलर. सो ये जो कलर है, दिस इज जस्ट डूइंग दिस वन. I'll have to add it with another, suppose this kind of a color, like let's say suppose red. So this is my base color and base color को suppose मुझे एक अलग से tint देना है. तो let me try and multiply it with a value like this, red. And if I multiply it with white, it will go back to default. So what I need to make this part red for one frame and then white again. So this is basically my tint. I convert it to parameter, my tint. By default it is वाइट. सो अभी ये जो मटेरियल है इसका मुझे मटेरियल इंस्टेंस बनाना पड़ेगा बिकॉज आई हैव टू चेंज द पैरामीटर इनसाइड दिस मटेरियल इंस्टेंस. सो आई एम मोर comfortable with that kind of things. इसका material instance mi enemy goblin. Okay, and let's see here that our tint will not change now because I'll have to change my material here. Okay, now that the material has been applied, अब अगर मैं चेक करूँ so we can see the tint is being changed and white is not like it is not getting a white tint. White tint is basically the default value if you multiply it by white. So we'll do something like this, ऐसा color, and it will go back to this. So every time it takes damage थोड़ा सा हल्का सा वो red होगा. So ये tint color हम लोग फ़िलहाल इसको बंद रखेंगे and inside our AI हम लोग ये change कर सकते हैं और inside AI goblin, but I'll do it inside AI because this is a parent one. Now whatever I do inside the parent or the base class will happen inside all the derived classes, so I'll have to make sure that this piece of logic that I am applying on every time it takes damage, I will actually also use it in my derived classes, other derived classes. So for example, first thing that I need to do is make a dynamic material. So I need to do create dynamic material instance in our mesh. I can also do create dynamic material instance like this way or this way. These are two different nodes. This is for a particular component, this is for your whole basically blueprint. It will just create a material instance and then you will have to assign it. इसमें you don't have to assign it, you can just give it a material and वो automatically assign हो जाएगा तुम लोग के mesh को. So source material is my, I will promote this material to a variable. My, I'll just say my material. This will be goblin, mi goblin, enemy goblin. Okay, and return value I will again promote it to a variable. Dynamic material instance, or short में I can call it DMI, but I think it sounds sort of weird, so I won't do that. And this is something that I can create every time I have initialized the blueprint basically here. So I think मैं sequence लेके करता हूँ better होगा because there is casting involved here. Okay, now inside this I'll have to set for every derived class. मुझे ये change करना पड़ेगा because this will only apply for now for goblin. Now goblins में every time they take damage मुझे करना क्या है, I need to use this material instance and I need to do set parameter. Now scalar or vector parameter there can be. It is a vector parameter by info. What if I break or make this global parameter? No, I'll just use a set vector parameter value. You give it a name. Parameter name is tint. This is the parameter जो हम लोग ने यहाँ पर create किया है tint नाम का. So use the same name. tint पे वो ये value apply कर देगा जो भी हम लोग यहाँ set करेंगे. Now we need to set it as red. Every time we take damage, not every time we die, but every time we take damage. So every time we are taking damage but not dying, which means like in false here, we can do make it red, give it a delay, and make it white again. Simple. Delay can be 0.2, 0.5 something seconds. Let's see 0.2 how it looks. And yes, it is turning them red. Now if I think it's too long, मैं delay को और कम कर सकते हैं 0.1 seconds. Okay. And if red is not so good, maybe I can make it like dark. Dark is not the best. I'll make it like green, but dark green maybe. Let's just try and see. Nahin. I'll make it very light maybe. I think the alternate route that I can take is थोड़ा सा उसका intensity increase करना. अभी currently like we are just changing the color which is fine, but I think increase करेंगे like वो थोड़ा सा bright हो जाएगा तो maybe better लगेगा, because the environment is also so bright. तो उसके अंदर उसका color direct green से red हो रहा है तो maybe it's not looking that well. But ठीक है, थोड़ा सा subtle लग रहा है वो. At least you can see कि when you actually hit the enemy. Okay, also one more issue that you can notice where I'm clicking, मेरा माउस जहाँ पर है मेरे बुलेट्स एग्जैक्टली वहाँ नहीं जा रहे, थोड़ा सा ऑफसेट है. Okay, now the reason for this offset is not our bullet location or something कि हम लोग ने कैलकुलेशन में ऐसा कुछ रोटेशन का कुछ प्रॉपर मिस्टेक किया है. The reason actually is the camera which is on a particular angle. Where is our camera? Top down cam. And our camera you can see is like this. It is minus 60 on the y-axis. If I keep it 0, or sorry, minus 90 completely on top of my head. Now if I check, so the bullets travel exactly where my mouse is. Okay, thoda sa hai, I know, offset, but it's not that different. Oh wait, my camera. Just 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay, hello. So my cam actually died, but that's fine. We'll just focus on this thing that our bullet is not going exactly where our mouse is. अभी यहाँ पर we can't see इतना ज़्यादा difference, थोड़ा सा है. What I can do is I can draw a decal where my mouse is. So inside my player controller I am doing my set actor rotation wherever actual the location of my mouse is, get hit result on the channel. So at this location let me try to, जैसे मैंने draw debug box किया था, right? So I can do draw debug box at this location. Two green or maybe red box, 0.1 thickness of 2, and yeah, we can see a red box here which is basically like a crosshair, you can say, and the amount of things that are annoying me right now are a lot, so I will delete them. And yeah, there's not a lot, but there is an offset. Okay, but let's compare this when we change our angle to minus, let's say 60. Now I don't want it to be completely top down, like I want this angle so that we can actually see our character and stuff. So this is the problem, that whatever location it gets, the bullet is actually going like it's on a height, and basically it's like this on a height. But when I am using my mouse to maybe like aim here, the bullet is actually going properly straight above my crosshair. If I've placed it like my crosshair is here underneath the bullet is going proper. But when we are on this angle, हम लोग को ऐसा लग रहा है कि मेरा माउस इधर है एंड बुलेट थोड़ा ऑफसेट में जा रहा है. दैट इज़ बिकॉज ऑफ द हाइट डिफरेंस and because of my camera angle. Okay, so like if I shoot here, so it should go properly here according to us, but it goes thoda sa offset pe, but it is not really an offset, it is more of a camera angle thing. So like if I aim here and I shoot, so you can see it looks like it's shooting thoda sa right mein, and oh no, our MJ is not OP enough. Okay, so anyways, अभी और हम लोग इसमें क्या ऐड कर सकते हैं looking at this? Do you guys have anything to say? Because if not, what I'll do is I'll add one or two more enemies, which is basically we have, I think, skeleton type हम लोग के पास है, so that is something that I'll add. And ground decal फिलहाल it's okay, it's not the best, it's not bad, but the projectile trail is basically just a debug thing, it's not meant for actual game. Okay, so ये projectile trail हमारे actual game में use नहीं होगा. Game जब when we build the game and everything, तो it will look different, but for now this is just for debugging purposes to see how the thing is reacting based on the velocity and the start point that we are giving it. Okay, Piyush says add more enemies. So yes, वही मैं अभी करने वाला था anyway. So वो पार्ट पे ही जाते. एक चीज़ खाली अभी मुझे याद है which I wanted to solve was कि जब इसका हाथ ऐसा आगे है, I want the grenade to actually spawn in her hands, and then like वो grenade ऐसा फेंकती है. So the grenade should already be in her hand जब वो हम लोग F यहाँ पर प्रेस कर रहे, विच इज़ ये ग्रेनेड थ्रो. इतना बड़ा इसका लॉजिक है. Grenade. Okay, so when I've pressed it and I've not released it, I want this thing to spawn in my hand and it should stay in my hand. So like when I release it, basically मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, I am spawning this thing and I'm spawning it from this location and I'm applying a physics linear velocity. So I can spawn this thing, ये जो चीज़ है, I can spawn it and I can store it, like I can promote to variable as my grenade. And here I can just use the grenade when I release. So when I spawn, I will keep it here. Okay, but this thing has a problem that मेरा grenade by default is simulating physics. By default this collider, ये जो collider है, is simulating physics. So because it is simulating physics, as soon as I press my grenade key, it will fall down, like even though I've not released it, because उसका physics चालू है obviously, तो उसको gravity लगेगा, it will fall down. I wanted to not simulate physics start में, instead I will start the physics later on when I actually release. So like if I look like this, so this is how it looks, and this is not correct because it is not moving with a character. So what can I do? I can attach it to my component. That is one thing that I can do, or I can just make it follow my character's location. That is also fine. But spawn करने के बाद, let's see if I can do attach to component. Or I can just do attach actor to actor and I can keep the location relative. Attach actor to actor and keep location relative. And let's just, because ये इतना problem आ रहा है यहाँ पर, I'll create this as a function. Spawn grenade. Okay, parent actor is of course self. We don't have a socket for now, we'll just keep it relative and let's see if it is actually attaching to our actor. And I don't know if it's attaching or if it's just not following. Attached to cannot be attached to itself, aborting. Excuse me. Oh, target is self. I see. Okay, now I think it is attaching, but I can see it, of course. So wait, let me just play this once and now search for our grenade. And yes, it is attached to our character, but ये कहाँ पर है? Sorry. So where is this thing? It is here. And where is here? Okay, that is here. Very nice. I told it to keep relative. I'll tell it to keep world. Like don't snap to target, but keep the world location that you have. So something like this, but it should be in our hands. Grenade location का world location. Maybe this is the issue. तो वो देखते हैं हम लोग. Now I need to detach it when I release, and I need to actually tell it to simulate its physics. So वो कैसे करना है? Set physics linear velocity तो करना है. Also I need to tell my grenade to detach from actor. Basically this. Location I will do keep world. Okay, so that is happening, but also I need to tell it to simulate physics on my collider. Collider is my root component. Also being used here anyway, so यहाँ पर एक reroute node लेके simulate. Now it's working. Now let's see our directions. Directions working. Yes, directions are also working. So what is not working is this path, I think. जब तक मैं होल्ड कर रहा हूँ तो ये होना चाहिए, करेक्ट? आई थिंक दिस इज़ नॉट हैपनिंग. हो रहा है ये पार्ट. देन फॉर 1 फ्रेम हम लोग ने ऑन रखा है. फॉर अ ड्यूरेशन ऑन रखता हूँ. 2 सेकेंड के लिए तो ड्रॉ होना ही चाहिए. Okay, it is drawing, but okay, it is overlapping with the grenade. Cool. So this thing is overlapping with this thing which we are spawning. Predicted projectile path is on throwables. Okay. And I think throwables are blocking other throwables. So grenade में जाके check करते. This is a throwable and it is blocking the other throwables. So I will tell it to ignore other throwables. Now we are back to normal. And all we need to change is that the grenade location matches our hand. Okay, now we can create a socket technically, but that socket will not stay still because हम लोग का character का जो hand है थोड़ा बहुत ऊपर नीचे होता है based on the animation जब वो भाग रहा है. So if we use the socket location it will not look good. So I'll have to change this grenade location. Why do I have to? I don't remember. Okay, one is for the launch velocity. Launch velocity was different, correct? थोड़ा सा आगे लेके आके देखते हैं. नाउ थोड़ा सा राइट में है. भागते टाइम वो नहीं होगा अनलेस वी कीप इट इन अ सॉकेट. इसका हाथ काफ़ी ज़्यादा मूव हो रहा है. I can make it so that the hand does not move, like it does not use the animations of my main character. Like I can keep the hand to stay still completely animations में, but I don't know if I should do that. Let me see मेरा trajectory में क्या difference आ रहा है. Trajectory proper है. Only problem is कि grenade थोड़ा दिख नहीं रहा है proper. So okay, let's check. Do we have a socket? We have IK hand R. We have hand R socket जो हम लोग ने काफ़ी मूव किया था लास्ट टाइम. है तो टेक्निकली हाथ पे ही अभी भी. सो लेट मी ट्राई एंड सी इफ आई कैन अटैच इट टू दैट सॉकेट. क्या नाम था? हैंड आर सॉकेट वाज इट? बराबर है. नहीं, आई शुड probably snap to target. नहीं, if I make it 000 and I snap to target, it's not attaching to the socket. Attach to socket. Oh, I'll have to do attach to component then. देखते हैं. नो, कहीं और ही राइट हैंड में लेके गया. अच्छा हाँ, ओके वेट, किसी ने मुझे बोला ही नहीं. आई एम डूइंग इट ऑन द राइट हैंड. आई नीड द सॉकेट ऑन माई लेफ्ट हैंड. hand L, add socket, hand L socket. add symbiotes. yes, MJ है तो symbiotes हो गए, बट बहुत इजी हो जाएगा MJ के लिए ऑनेस्टली. so now where was a spare? we will use very nice. and L socket. Now she is holding properly. और ये जो ग्रेनेड एनिमेशन है इसमें जब वो फेंक देती है, इवन आफ्टर दैट यू कैन सी उसके पैर लाइक शी इज बेसिकली स्लाइडिंग बिकॉज पूरे बॉडी पे हो रहा है वो एनिमेशन. सो आई वांटेड टू ओनली हैपन ऑन द अपर बॉडी, बट अगर मैं अपर बॉडी करता हूँ तो शी एक्ट्स वियर्डली. ये चीज़ हम लोग ने लास्ट टाइम देखा था. तो फॉर नाउ आई वोंट गो ओवर दैट. But in terms of light emit, I think light emit is okay. I know it's creating like those shadows. Maybe मैं सॉकेट को थोड़ा सा ऊपर रख के देखता हूँ. प्रीव्यू एनिमेशन, ग्रेनेड थ्रो. Grenade aim. So when I'm holding it like this, I will add a preview asset grenade. Oh, I have a grenade. नहीं उतना अच्छा नहीं है, बट मुझे सिर्फ एक नॉर्मल स्फीयर ऐड करना है. Oh my god. Wait, what sphere are we using? यही sphere है. प्रीव्यू एसेट का तो मैं चेंज नहीं कर सकता साइज. कुछ और ऐड कर देता और क्या, कुछ छोटा सा. वाह. एक न्यू स्फीयर भी बना सकता हूँ वैसे तो मैं. ऐसा नहीं है कि अनरियल में एक स्फीयर नहीं बना सकते, बट आई वाज जस्ट थिंकिंग वहाँ होता तो बेटर होगा. बट इधर हम लोग चेक कर सकते हैं अभी इसके अंदर कैसा दिखेगा. एंड देन वील हैव टू चेंज इट फ्रॉम. वेट, इसको क्या हुआ? डिलीट कैसे हो गया यार? यार ऐड सॉकेट. ओके. It's not bad. I will make it not cast shadows. Yes, add symbiotes. We want MJ turn to. Oh, spoilers. Yes, we don't spoil the game here. बट ये इसमें MJ को भी कुछ दे सकता हूँ अलग. बॉस का जैसे फेजेस होते हैं, हम लोग के मेन कैरेक्टर को ही हम लोग फेजेस दे सकते हैं. एंड वी कैन मेक लाइक अ डिफरेंट फेज्ड वर्जन ऑफ MJ. बट एनीवे ये आई थिंक अच्छा लग रहा है अभी. इफ़ यू इग्नोर द प्रोजेक्टाइल पाथ, आई थिंक इट लुक्स गुड. इंटेंसिटी में भी थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा है MJ के मुंह पे, लाइक इट्स ग्लोइंग कम्प्लीटली वाइट. ठीक है, इट्स अ गेम. एंड ऑल्सो मुझे क्या अभी चेंज करना था, अभी मुझे याद आया, ये हाँ मेरा प्लेयर कंट्रोलर पे ड्रॉ डीबग बॉक्स निकालना है एंड मूविंग किधर हो रहा है, आई हैड टू चेक। तो प्रिंट यहाँ हो रहा है। So this is a good tip. You can do Control Shift F for find in all blueprints. If you do Control F, it will find in a particular blueprint. Like I can do print, so it will try to find a print statement in this blueprint. You can do Control Shift F to find a particular function that you are using in any of your blueprints, basically. Skill tree. Yes, स्किल ट्री समथिंग जो मैंने सोचा है, इसमें हम लोग ऐड कर सकते हैं। नॉट लाइक प्रॉपर स्किल ट्री जैसा गेम्स में होता है, बट लाइक टॉप डाउन शूटर्स में जैसे मे बी यू हैव RPG सिस्टम वेर यू कैन अपग्रेड योर गन, मे बी यू कैन इंक्रीज द फायर रेट, थोड़ा फायर का डैमेज इंक्रीज कर सकते हो। मे बी वेपन्स तुम लोग डैमेज या फायर रेट छोड़ के उनका कुछ अलग, मे बी रीलोड का टाइम कम कर सकते हैं। अभी तो ऐसा कुछ रीलोड का है नहीं सिस्टम, बट ग्रेनेड अनलॉक्स आफ्टर किलिंग अ सर्टेन अमाउंट ऑफ एनिमीज। यस करेक्ट, ये मैं सोचा था, ये रख सकते हैं हम लोग। आई वॉज थिंकिंग कि आफ्टर एवरी 10 सेकेंड्स में भी उसका ग्रेनेड टाइमर रीसेट होगा, या 5 सेकेंड्स के बाद शी कैन यूज़ अ ग्रेनेड, वैसा रख सकते हैं। और यू कैन डू लाइक आफ्टर मे बी 10 एनिमीज, उसका एक बार होता है ग्रेनेड का जो फिल हो जाएगा, एंड शी कैन यूज़ अ ग्रेनेड after every 5 kills or something. So that is one thing that I can use. I don't know if I should keep friendly fire ऐसा, like, क्योंकि बहुत नूब्स होंगे जो ऐसे ही मर जाएंगे। So I don't know ये रखना चाहिए या नहीं फ्रेंडली फायर, बट अभी का मेजर प्रायोरिटी इज़ एडिंग एटलीस्ट 1 more enemy। तो पहले मैं उस पर जाता हूँ, बिकॉज वही स्टार्ट करते करते I did a lot of things except adding a new enemy. तो first अभी हम लोग वो करते हैं। So go to my blueprints and AI goblin जैसे हम लोग ने बनाया वैसे ही we will create another AI, basically skeleton or something. And let me see if inside goblin I have not done anything except add a widget. Check if hit player. Okay, wait. We added widget here. हाँ ठीक है। FF would be fun. I don't know. सिंगल प्लेयर गेम में FF पता नहीं। एंड MJ को अगर FF का एबिलिटी दे दिया तो इट विल बी वेरी अनरियलिस्टिक, बिकॉज MJ डज नॉट डाई। MJ के लिए हम लोग को एक ऐसा लोर भी बनाना पड़ेगा कि MJ ओनली बेसिकली जब उसका हेल्थ कम होता है, शी जस्ट लाइक गोज एंड टेक्स सम रेस्ट एंड शी कम्स बैक, बेसिकली शी डजंट डाई। तो उसका सेकीरो जैसा कुछ लोर रखना पड़ेगा कि शी एक्चुअली रिस्पॉन्स। इट्स नॉट अ गेम कि गेम के लिए वो रिस्पॉन हो रही है, बट अकॉर्डिंग टू द लोर शी डज नॉट रियली डाई, शी कम्स बैक टू लाइफ लाइक सेकीरो। ओके, इसका हम लोग निकालेंगे कॉपी, और नॉट अ कॉपी बट चाइल्ड ब्लूप्रिंट क्लास। दिस विल बी AI skelly. Now where are our skellies? So if you want to see our skellies, we have these guys here. No, these are the ghouls. Let's go to any one of these guys and यहाँ पर हम लोग को दिखेगा skeleton, and they have created a blueprint like this. So एक ये skeleton है, and then maybe there's one with all the armor and stuff. materials mesh नहीं they have not created. I don't know, I think they had. हाँ इसमें है rags and everything. Okay, but why they not visible? वेरी नाइस. ये लोग का पूरा लीडर पोस्ट कंपोनेंट इन्होंने सेटअप किया है, बट आई थिंक इट्स नॉट वर्किंग बिकॉज ऑफ दीज थिंग्स. एक बार चेक करता हूँ मैं इनको डिटैच करके जहाँ पर भी एरर्स आ रहे हैं. वाई स्टॉप स्टॉप. वार्निंग्स ख़त्म. एंड एक सेकेंड. Okay, hello, and we also have a cam back. ठीक है. सो एज आई वाज सेइंग कि इसका जो एक्स्ट्रा चीज़ें है अपेरेंटली विजिबल नहीं है. आई डोंट नो इसका रीज़न क्या है, बिकॉज नॉर्मली ये होते हैं विजिबल. लाइक दिस यहाँ पर स्केलेटन पे. एनीवे वी विल ट्राई टू क्रिएट आवर ओन स्केलेटन. So this is our guy Skelly, and we will use not this but skeleton meshes and SK skeleton. Okay, and this guy will not be so short, तो obviously इसका capsule थोड़ा सा बड़ा होगा, half height and everything. हेल्थ जितनी कम होगी उतनी मूवमेंट स्पीड भी कम होगी. दैट वुड बी कूल आई गेस. हाँ वो कर सकते हैं. और रिसेंटली आई वाज प्लेइंग अ गेम जिसमें टॉप डाउन शूटर ही अभी अनरियल के आई थिंक फॉर द मंथ में फ्री आया. एंड दे हैव डिफरेंट लाइक काइंड ऑफ एबिलिटीज दैट यू कैन अपग्रेड. एंड लाइक हेल्थ इज़ अ कलेक्टेबल विच यू कैन कलेक्ट, बट देर इज़ ऑल्सो स्पीड which is like an ability that you can choose कि तुम लोग को अपना अगर speed boost करना है थोड़ा सा, so you can choose that ability and just थोड़ा like 10% movement increase will increase. So half height basically I'll have to increase up to 80 something. वो so cool. Yes, Unreal Engine is very cool. Location I'll put it down to -80. Is to -90. Okay, so height is I think okay. Height इतना इसमें मैटर नहीं करता है because this is like a top down, so majorly our height is for the like how the capsule is basically placing on the ground. But when we are shooting in a top down, I'm not controlling like the height of where I'm shooting. मैं ऊपर नीचे aim नहीं कर रहा हूँ. So if this guy has a capsule which is basically it is only this much, but if I have the capsule which is like पूरा इतना लंबा है, still my bullet should basically hit it because there is no option of me to choose the height of where I'm shooting at. I will just shoot the direction, so I can't really like change the height इसके अंदर रन टाइम पे. तो यहाँ पर I will keep the height like this. If I think it is colliding with the ground or something, then I'll change it. इसको एनिमेशन के लिए हम लोग को एनिमेशन ब्लूप्रिंट क्रिएट करना है, एंड हम लोग क्या कर सकते हैं, और we can also add the different equipments that we have here, all of these. No, this is our skeleton enemy. We want to focus on this guy. Yes. Okay, let me see if I can add a skeletal mesh here. Okay, and if I apply this bandage, so it is being applied, correct. So if I apply like rags or something, let me make multiple copies, and instead of bandage now I'll apply like this rag. You can see the rags, small rags. यहाँ पर okay, either there is something like a helmet that we can give it. Okay, we will basically try and make the guy drip. Okay, nice helmet. So now for creating a very simple animation blueprint for this, so inside animations I will do AI skelly. Now I have multiple skellies. I have two kind of skellies, one is melee and one is ranged. So I don't know if I'll use this for melee or for range, because for melee this guy has a sword, and for range he has a bow. So for example here I have inside weapons I have two. I have a bow, I have a sword. For now let's say I choose a bow. Now this bow has to go and rest on, I don't know where. हम लोग को इनके blueprint में I'll have to check how they have set up their skeleton, or maybe I can just check this. So they have created this socket for the bow and a socket for the sword. ठीक है, so everything is set up, we don't have to do anything. यहाँ पर आके we can just call it our bow, and this bow will be attached to our bow socket. So he is actually holding the bow now. Once we animate it, we have not given it any animations, but if we do give it animation like this, not this one, inside our main mesh, अगर हम लोग उसके animation asset में we use suppose attack like this, you can see the bow is being animated. It's not being animated, it's just उसका location change हो रहा है, but हम लोग के helmet and stuff are not moving because they are different skeletal meshes, like these ones, these 4. So for all the different meshes to move, हम लोग को construction script में we have to set leader pose component. Okay, mesh will be our leader bone component, our main mesh, and all of these different skeletal meshes will basically follow the leader. These guys are followers, and the helmet is also animating. Bro is going like recoil. The first guy I've seen जिसको बो का भी इतना बड़ा recoil लग रहा है. Okay, so our ranged enemy is kind of like ready. You can see it inside our level here. We have not yet given it proper animations. फिलहाल सिर्फ एक static animation दिया है, but still we can see how he is looking in our level. Okay, and by default इसको material हमारे goblin का मिला है. That's why he is looking so green, and he's sliding all over the place because we haven't given it any animations or anything yet. So it is just following उसके base class की सब चीज़ें. Base class के अंदर we are telling it to move, we are telling it to shoot, we are telling it to take damage, we are telling it to die and stuff. So all of those things we'll have to change inside our class defaults. So class defaults के अंदर we also have like you can see material. So material currently उसको goblin का applied है. We have to create skeleton का material, or for now we'll just give it this one, mi skeleton. Okay, attack montage we'll have to create, animation we'll have to create. So inside skelly I will create animation blueprint, sk skeleton, abp skelly range. Bro is skateboarding. Yes, that is what we will fix. We will make him actually like walk and use his legs. So here we will create a state machine. I don't need a state machine, but anyway I will create a new state called movement, and inside movement I will create a blend space here. I don't need a 2D blend space, so we will create a 1D blend space. Skeleton. Every skeleton is a skeleton, so skeleton search करके कुछ help नहीं हुआ यहाँ पर. Oh my god, कहाँ से ढूंढूँ मैं skeleton? Skeleton. Okay. BS skelly movement. And here basically we add a speed which goes from 0 to let's say 300, and when he is on 0 we will play idle animation, snap to grid. So we can see he is breathing, and we will play our run. We have walk, we have run. I don't know what run. Okay, we have two kind of runs. One is for bow, one is for like normal running. I think walking is better. Walk with the bow. For bow we'll have to use this one, walk with bow. Breathing without lungs? No, he is breathing. He is acting like he is alive. He is not really alive. So he is idle, he's walking, he's idle, he's walking, he's idle, he's walking. So we need to use this skelly movement here, and we need to promote this to speed. Same thing जो हम लोग पहले भी कर चुके हैं यहाँ पर. Get pawn owner, get the velocity, and get the length xy, and you just set the speed with this. This is nothing new. So now based on our speed our animation will change. Okay, now let me check if our skelly is using this animation blueprint. It is not for now, so we will give it abp skelly ranged. Okay, and now yes, he is using his feet to move. Okay, थोड़ा ज़्यादा फास्ट है. We will make him a little bit slower, and we will make him stop at a particular range. Now he is stopping very close to us. Because he has a bow, he'll stop at a distance. He will not stop so close because his attack animation is a arrow. So inside this guy AS Kelly, we have attack range which is set to 100. So we will increase it to 500, and we will change, suppose, the movement walk speed to, okay, it's 300. So 300 is still, it's looking थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा लग रहा है. I think let's set it to 200, and यहाँ पर भी max value I'll set it to snap to grid. I'll set it this max value to 200. Okay, 350. Now let's see. Now he stops as soon as he's 500 units away from us. So you can see he's following us, but 500 units away he'll stop. So वहाँ से ही अभी उसका attack चालू हो जाना चाहिए. So what we need is, we need an attack montage for this guy. So animation में animation montage, again skeleton, like helicopter, skeleton, AM, shoot maybe, sorry, AM Skelly shoot. And यहाँ पर what animations do we have? We have attack, this one, very nice. We'll play on default slot, चलेगा. Actually we have to play it on, better play it on upper body slot. We'll create a upper body slot and I will play it there. Okay, blend time फिलहाल ठीक है. And inside our Skelly, in class defaults, we will set this montage here, AM Skelly shoot, and let's see if the montage works. It will not work because यहाँ पर we will have to use our upper body slot. I am the hunter. This is basically Sova after he's dead. So you can see he's attacking from far away. उसका अपना ही वो चालू है उधर, बो करते जा रहे हो. And MJ died, which is not very realistic because MJ never dies, but we'll fix that later. Now we also need to fix that ये when this guy shoots and if he moves तो उसके legs भी move होने चाहिए. He should not slide. Like suppose shooting के time if I move, so he should not slide. One is that. Second, he should obviously follow the rotation of our character. So right now he's following when he moves, but when we are close to it, so he's not following the rotation. Okay, if I like add a grenade, so sab गए. So to make him follow the rotation, वो हम लोग बाद में करते हैं. पहले we will add a blend per bone so that he does not skateboard नहीं करना चाहिए. So we will add this as our blend pose basically, and save pose, movement pose, what happened? Movement pose से movement pose, yes, movement pose in upper body and in base pose. And यहाँ पर again we will use the same bone which is spine underscore 0 1, and this will fix that he will always move whenever he is shooting. He is still using the legs. Okay, he will never slide now. तो वो फिक्स हो गया. Now to change the rotation. So every time it has basically, this is successful and he is attacking, this is happening, it should also follow the rotation. So rotation should always be wherever our player is. So let me see if I should do it in tick. Let me just try and check if I can do, let's set actor rotation, and inside rotation I will do find look at rotation. Start is your own location and target is your main player character. Very simple. So wherever the main, and my control D does not work, I don't know why. So every frame we are setting the rotation, and let me see if this works. Yes, it's working. So he's always looking at us. If he moves, he's still rotating, and when he's not moving, he's still looking at us. Okay, all good. Only thing left is for him to actually spawn the bow. So for the bow, we of course have to create another projectile, and I will actually create a new folder for projectiles, because now we have almost 3 projectiles: bullet, grenade and bow. And our AI inside AI folder, and widgets inside widget folder. Okay, now to create another projectile, and I will call it my bow. Not my bow, wait, arrow. Yes, correct, exactly, arrow. Why am I calling it my bow? So I'll take a static mesh, and I do have arrows here, SM arrow, and it is rotated on the X axis. So if I use an arrow here, so it is rotated, so I need to change the rotation to -90. Also I need to add a capsule collision as the root. Oh wait, capsule won't go like this, so I can take a scene component and add capsule as a child and make the capsule go like this, or I can just use a box collider and make that as my root. Both can work. So I'll do like 90 0, delete this arrow, and yeah, this is fine. So capsule ka radius will be like around 10. Depends how loose you want the hitbox to be, how forgiving you want the thing to be. Piyush says use box collider. True, I can use. Let's see, अगर मुझे लगता है उसका use तो मैं रखता हूँ उसको. This is my actual arrow mesh. This is my collider. Actually, mesh should be the child of my collider, so that if I ever like move my collider, which I don't think I will, I'll just move the whole scene root, but still mesh will move. So yeah, now my collider has to be a particular type. I have created bullet, but bullet is different than arrow. So पता नहीं if I have to create a new type, like I cannot use throwables because throwables will not damage me because I am the one who is actually throwing. So I'm thinking if I can give it a generic name, like things that enemies can hit you with, like enemy throwables or like enemy weapons or enemy projectiles. I don't know. For now, I'll just name it arrow. And by default, everything should block the arrow. Okay, we'll keep it on block. Actually no, I'll keep everything to ignore my arrow, and then I will set this world, or basically my landscape collision settings, to block the arrow. Now the problem with this is that if I ever change my level, if I ever change my landscape, तो वहाँ पर मुझे याद रखना पड़ेगा to make my arrow blocking here. Which is why I don't think this is a good idea to keep it to ignore, so I'll just keep it to block. And now inside every class, which is like enemies or any other colliders which are blocking the arrow by default, I will have to tell them to please not block my arrow. This is why presets are much better than using object channels. Like, of course you have to create object channels, but when you're using presets, you can just set that every enemy will use this preset, that for every enemy they will ignore the arrows, and by default everything else will block the arrow. Dark Hacker says hi. Hello. Okay, so here ये जो arrow है, we will tell it to, of course, let me compile and check. We have this arrow. Now arrow should not block other arrows, so I'll tell it to ignore other arrows, and I'll tell this object type to be arrow. Okay, now arrow by default should overlap with only my pawn. It should not block or ignore visibility channels. It should overlap with my pawn. It should ignore almost everything else, even throwables, even enemies. It should go through enemies. It shouldn't, like, friendly fire नहीं होना चाहिए कि skeleton is shooting and it's shooting its own enemy like something. So I'll just keep it to overlap with my pawn for now. And inside my pawn, I will tell it to overlap with my arrow. Don't block it, but just overlap for now. Okay, and as soon as I hit or I overlap with something, then I'll tell it to, यहाँ पर भी I will tell it actually to overlap, and I'll just check overlap detection. Overlap जैसे detect होता है, if it overlapped with something, I will destroy the bow, or sorry, I will destroy the arrow, and कुछ particle effects we can play. So inside this arrow also we can check, okay, only this is being overlapped, and inside landscape I will tell it to overlap with my arrow. ठीक है, all that is good. And now inside arrow I will add projectile movement component, main thing required to actually move it ahead. So I'll give it an initial and max speed of 600. I will give it gravity, arrow thoda jana chahiye niche, of 0.5. I'll give gravity, it should not bounce or anything, and yeah, that's it. Now to spawn this arrow, so every time this Kelly is basically attacking, it should spawn. So where is attack? Attack is here. Attack pe we are playing the montage, we are checking if we hit the player. This is for melee checks, and then we apply damage. So here we need to basically override this event, because this event will run a little bit different in our Skelly. Different as in we need to do all of this, but we also need to spawn an arrow, and we will not apply damage until that arrow hits. So arrow damage karega, our Skelly will not damage things. So this thing will not happen in our Skelly. So technically we should keep this inside our goblin class and not this, because यहाँ पर तो कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, it will always return false, but inside goblin check if hit पे it is checking attack detection if it is overlapping with actor, and then it is doing this. So this will always be false for every other enemy, तो ये part anyway होने नहीं वाला है. What we need is, we need to check कि on notify begin या on just attack begin, we need to spawn our arrow. So we can use attack, event attack, this is the event in our parent, and we can do add call to parent function. Let me see if this works well, and yeah, he is attacking. So now every time we attack, we will spawn actor from class. कौन सा actor? Obviously arrow. Where will we spawn it? We will spawn it maybe on the bow. Does the bow have a socket? Bow does not have a socket. Maybe we can spawn it here on the bow root. Get bone location. Can I do bone location? No. If I do get socket location and I type a bone name, yeah, socket or the bone, yes. So I can type, what was it? Bow root. This is the location, and also get socket rotation. So let's see. Oh ho ho, it is spawning a lot of arrows and it keeps doing this, जबकि हम लोग ने do once यहाँ पर यूज़ किया है. So we only want this to happen here. So ये यूज़ नहीं करते. For example, let's see if we just do play montage here. but then here we are using do once and we are resetting it when we complete the montage. That's fine. On completed यहाँ पर भी हम लोग reset कर सकते हैं. We can do use do once. Reset. And montage is our attack montage. The name was attack, and this is our mesh. So let's hope for the best. It is spawning an arrow, but वो पीछे जा रहा है. I think arrow उल्टा जा रहा है. Let me increase always spawn ignore collisions and increase the size to 5. Yeah, the arrow is going backwards. I can just take the forward vector of the skelly. Now it's going properly. So I'll keep the bow to 2. And gravity I think काफ़ी ज़्यादा है. So gravity I will keep 0.2. And I'll have to increase the speed, lower the scale, increase the speed. It's working fine, I think. ग्रेविटी और भी हम लोग कम कर देते हैं. 0.1. Okay, and ये जो टेक्सचर स्ट्रीमिंग पुल आउट ऑफ बजट जा रहा है. आई कैन जस्ट डू आर स्ट्रीमिंग डॉट पुल साइज 8000. Yeah, now the error is gone. Now we just need to damage. Okay, what is he doing? Oh, did we kill him? Okay, yeah. उसके पास अभी कोई डेथ मोन्टाज वो सब नहीं है. So I'll have to check how I was handling death here. Inside AI on death. I think we are doing death via animation blueprint. So this is the thing, if I do it for one enemy, I'll have to follow the same procedure for all enemies because they are all from the same base class. So मुझे सब base classes में I will have to create state dead, and इसको I'll have to promote a variable to. Okay, I'll have to create a death and event graph में here I will have to cast to AI. And AI का dead लेके I will have to set depth. And inside dead here we will play anim depth. So let's try to kill him. And yes, he is playing death animation, but he was also playing the montage wo time par, and he was also rotating and stuff. So montage हम लोग कैसे इसका stop करेंगे? Wait, let me see. While this guy attacks, if I kill him, अच्छा इनका भी वही चीज़ हो रहा है. They are also playing the montage when they are dead. I can just like do a dead check here, and I can do stop montages. No, I think for stop montage then मुझे अपना attack montage डालना पड़ेगा वहाँ पर. I can be in any like montages, and then I don't want कि मुझे हर एक montage का वहाँ पर specify करना पड़े. तो I think best thing to do would be to create a different montage for deaths and not do it like this. Okay, because when I play the death montage, attack montage will obviously not play, because two montages will not play. So it will play death completely. So I will have to change थोड़ा बहुत मुझे logic यहाँ पर change करना पड़ेगा. Instead of making like this dead to 2, this is not the problem. Problem is like here inside, sorry, AI goblin. Here I don't need to do this, nor do I need to do this then. I need to create another animation montage for my goblin called am goblin depth, and this is my lose. Okay, goblin doesn't die, he only loses. This will be on default slot, chalega. And now here let me just check the default slot is happening here, but it will still do this upper body thing. Correct. So I will have to call, let's just see how this goes. Okay, यहाँ पर whenever we die, I will use this one. Now I can't use play montage inside function. Let's just use this one. Then अगर कुछ issue आएगा then we have to create this, we have to convert this function into an event. But let's see, goblin death we will play. That's it. Now he started running again. So if I am using a montage, I will have to make this part loop. I have to add a looping section basically, which keeps on looping like this. And I'll have to tell this, I don't have to tell this to loop, वो automatically loop होगा. And here now if I check, तो it should stop attacking. It will not play any montage except this one. ठीक है, fixed. Oh, we died. Anyway, this is fixed. Now this will be basically our death montage. ठीक है. And then inside goblin, तो यहाँ पर तो हम लोग ने death montage इधर डाला ही है, goblin death. But in our Skelly, we have to create a death animation for a skeleton now. Hey, skeleton am Skelly death. Now it has a bow death, it has a normal death, so I think we have to specify that this is bow death. Okay, happening on default group, that's okay. And in Skelly we will add default slot here, and inside skeleton we will now add Skelly bow death, and इसका नाम भी actually I should change it to Skelly bow or Skelly ranged. And this is also useless. So let's see. Oh no. Okay. It is playing the death, but then he wakes up again, so we need to loop the death. New montage section, loop. So he died, he's still rotating, but he destroys itself. So यहाँ पर it's just a simple fix. Skelly ranged में we can check ये जो rotation है. How did it delete that? This rotation should stop happening after you have checked that it is dead. Actually हम लोग ने ये चीज़ किया था ना, if we are dead we were setting tick to false. No, we didn't do it. What are we ticking in this? I'm making it move and attack. Yeah, so on death we can just set tick enabled to false. Let's see. And yes, it is not rotating now. ओके एंड इसके जस्ट हम लोग एक बार कोलिजन भी चेक कर लेते हैं. So it is blocking the different enemies, which is fine. Bullet overlap and arrow overlap. Throwables should not overlap, of course. And yeah, I think this is fine. And capsule को we will of course hide again. अच्छा, यहाँ पर सिर्फ इसका विजिबल है. No. Why can I see the capsule then? अच्छा हाँ, sorry. Should be set to true. Okay, now it's looking good, and the arrow does not damage our player yet, so we'll make it damage. Okay, also we need to make these guys spawn, so that is obviously our spawner's job. तो हमारा spawner क्या है वो हम लोग सर्च करते हैं. हाँ, this is a spawner is currently spawning enemies based on this class, so we can get a random array item for now, and we can make an array of enemies, which is goblin and skelly range. So now our game will spawn goblins and skellies, ranged skellies, randomly. Okay, I think it is having trouble spawning skellies. इसके लिए इतना टाइम भी लग रहा है. मे बी वो स्पॉन होते ही कोलाइड हो रहा है. लेट मी चेक हियर इफ आई टाइप skelly. So we'll be able to see whenever a skelly spawns. There are no skellies being spawned. So it's probably because of, let me refresh notes and collision handling. Try to adjust location but always spawn. Now skelly should spawn. Yeah, now it's spawning. Ab you can see skeleton spawn ho rahe. They're coming behind me. So now I have ranged skellies and I have melee goblins, and I know it's difficult to see the arrows right now, so uske liye bhi we will like create, maybe we will light their arrows up. I think in arrows I can add a point light to the mesh. It's not a good idea, but it is an idea. Attenuation radius will of course be very less, like 200 maybe. ये भी थोड़ा ज़्यादा है. Like here intensity maybe like of 1000. We'll keep it like cyan color, and it will not cast any shadows. So yeah, now kind of we are able to see the arrows thoda sa clearly. it can be much better. Maybe I'll increase the intensity. It's not so bad now. Maybe थोड़ा नीचे ही जा रही है. I'll just change the gravity scale to 0 and let's see. Yeah, still थोड़ा सा नीचे लग रहा है वो काफ़ी, like arrow. It's not spawning in a wrong place. वो कैमरा के वैसे ही ऐसे लग रहा है because like it's a top down game. तो like if I pause. Okay, wait, it is kind of low. I can just then keep a scene component for my arrow. Like arrow spawn इतने height पे होगा somewhere around. And here we will take the arrow spawn world location. Now it's better. Now because it's like हम लोग का कैमरा ग्लिच हो रहा है. It's probably because I think मैंने arrow का ये बंद नहीं किया है. So arrow should not have any kind of collisions because we have created another collider for that. Better to add glowing material. Yes, I know. हम लोग को glowing material ही मुझे करना है actually add सब में, bullets में भी and बाकी चीज़ों में भी. Now because of the attenuation radius, light is not reaching the ground. Arrow का जो light है. दिस इज़ थोड़ा सा बेटर है ये. एंड एरो को अगर हम लोग एमिसिव कलर दे, लाइक जो भी इसका बेस कलर है, अगर मैं उसको ही लाइक मल्टीप्लाई करके Skeleton's minions should be bigger in size. 3x compared to goblins. Yes, I think उनका भी साइज बढ़ाना पड़ेगा. immersive color like maybe मैं इंक्रीज करके चेक करता हूँ. इनको ओपेसिटी मास्क अप्लाइड है एंड एरो अभी यू कैन सी थोड़ा सा ग्लो हो रहा है. इट्स नॉट मच. मुझे और काफ़ी और मल्टीप्लायर उसको देना पड़ेगा बट काफ़ी हल्का सा ग्लो है. मटेरियल काफ़ी वाइट हो जाएगा. Skeleton looks scary. This much glow is like not bad and then मुझे इस पे लाइट तो देना ही पड़ेगा. क्या also I need to make sure कि arrow is उसके जो montage है उसके साथ sync होना चाहिए properly. Wait, I don't need all of these guys. सिर्फ एक होगा बस है. नहीं, एरो थोड़ा सा लाइक जल्दी मार रहा है वो कंपेयर टू जो उसका एनिमेशन चल रहा है. सो ये जो स्पॉनिंग हो रहा है I may have to delay this. Or I have to delay actually 0.5 का डिले देके देखते हैं. मोन्टाज तो पहले ही हो रहा है ना. मोन्टाज पहले करके ये बाद में करना है. So montage first, then you give it a half-second delay, spawn the arrow, and after you complete this you can play the montage again. अभी थोड़ा बेटर है. हाँ, मच बेटर एक्चुअली. अभी एक्चुअली उनके हाथ से पता चलता है व्हेन दे आर गोइंग टू शूट. आई डोंट वांट अ लॉट ऑफ देम. एक ही का एनिमेशन पहले हम लोग देख के जज करते हैं. इट्स लुकिंग बेटर. अब प्लेयर एंड एवरीथिंग को भी डैमेज लगना चाहिए उसके एरो से. सो वो सब हम लोग नेक्स्ट टाइम करते हैं. आज हम लोग ने काफ़ी कुछ किया वैसे तो. वी मेड ऑफकोर्स अ डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ एनिमी. ये तो बहुत एंड में किया हम लोग ने, बट वी चेंज अपने स्केलेटन का हम लोग ने मोन्टाजेस चेंज किया. उसको हम लोग ने गॉब्लिन को मटेरियल्स अप्लाई किया, उस पर मटेरियल्स हम लोग कलर उसका चेंज कर रहे. मोन्टाजेस का हम लोग ने फिक्स किया. देन व्हाट डिड वी डू? वी एडेड पार्टिकल इफेक्ट्स फॉर आर मजल, फॉर आर इम्पैक्ट एंड स्टफ. हम लोग ने ग्रेनेड काफ़ी चेंज किया. ग्रेनेड नाउ लाइक शी कैन होल्ड द ग्रेनेड एंड वो भी थोड़ा ग्लो होता है. एंड ग्रेनेड के भी पार्टिकल इफेक्ट्स एंड एवरीथिंग वी हैव क्रिएटेड, है ना. एंड देन ऑफ कोर्स वी क्रिएटेड दिस एनिमी, रेंज एनिमी, एंड उसको हम लोग ने मोन्टाज दिया है, अटैक रेंज एंड एवरीथिंग दिया है कि इतने रेंज पर आके ही वो मारते हैं. सो दैट स्क्रीन के बाहर से नहीं मारनी चाहिए. दैट इज़ वाई दे हैव लाइक अ 500 मीटर रेंज. बिकॉज नाउ यू कैन सी जो ये वाला एनिमी है सबसे राइट में जो है, वो अपने स्क्रीन में आने के बाद ही विल लाइक ट्राई टू शूट. लाइक यहाँ पर सपोज अगर है, स्क्रीन में आने के बाद ही विल ट्राई टू शूट. सो दैट स्क्रीन के बाहर से हम लोग को ऐसा एरोज आते हुए दिखना नहीं चाहिए. ओके. एनीवे, if anybody has any questions or anything, now is the time to ask, and then we will try to continue this next time and try to create maybe a different kind of enemy. There's an enemy which can basically like throw range projectiles and also spawn other mobs. तो वैसे का हम लोग कुछ क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. एंड जैसा स्किल ट्री के थोड़े बहुत सजेशंस आए थे वो हम लोग ट्राई कर सकते हैं, लाइक टू इंक्रीज द मूवमेंट स्पीड और समथिंग. बट वो हम लोग मे बी वेव्स के बीच में कर सकते हैं. राइट नाउ वी हैव नॉट एडेड वेव सिस्टम. तो वेव सिस्टम इज़ समथिंग दैट वील क्रिएट इन द फ्यूचर. अभी तो दे जस्ट कमिंग रैंडमली एंड वी आर जस्ट स्पॉनिंग देम. सो वो सब हम लोग बेटर करेंगे. थोड़ा ग्राफिकली हम लोग में भी चीज़ें और डालेंगे इसमें. एरोज़ भी फ़िलहाल कहीं पर ब्लॉक होके उनको कुछ होता नहीं है, तो वो सब हम लोग चेंज करेंगे नेक्स्ट टाइम. ठीक है. सो आई डोंट थिंक देर आर एनी क्वेश्चंस. सो आई विल एंड इट नाउ एंड वी शैल मीट नेक्स्ट टाइम नेक्स्ट वीक, ऑलवेज द सेम टाइम. It's usually 5 p.m. So yeah, bye bye.